Yay, everybody. Welcome back to Comic Crow. And this is a bit of low-hanging fruit, but, I've talked about it on the channel before. It seems that people that are in a specific... okay, God, I'm not even going to joke. People on the left, okay? People that are on the left in just about any country, anywhere. They talk about how things are offensive, how nearly everything around them is actually a racist or some sort of racist system of oppression or whatever. Okay, even though they say all that, even though they seem to push that, whenever it comes to dealing with their political opposition in any way, shape, or form, they are the first ones to go overtly racist, to start hurling out slurs towards people, while at the exact same time accusing that person who they're hurling racial slurs at of being the actual bigot. So this is Jamila Jamil. Jamila Jamil is the actress in She-Hulk, the god-awful show, which was also about diversity and inclusion and acceptance and God, whatever, right? But this is her Instagram post, and it's edited, okay? So just to be clear, this wasn't something that she just pumped out there without thinking. She thought about this, posted it, then edited the post. But this guy here, this is a British political guy. Jamil Jamil here referring to the Prime Minister and both current and former Home Secretaries as coconuts. I've written before about how the use of this type of language by celebrities with huge platforms legitimizes this abuse. Why are so few prepared to call it out? Well, because they're celebrities with huge platforms. And because, look, if Jamil Jamil went and turned around and called like a politician in the United States, right? A Democrat politician in the United States, a coconut, oh my goodness, everyone would turn against her immediately. But that's not what she's doing. She's going after the right in the UK, which again, the right in the UK is more like the left over here. But still, she's going after their political opponents, and so it's okay. It's okay to hurl out racial abuse. That's what they do. And then, even if she gets criticized, even if she eventually takes the post down, she'll just repost the same shit later, or some other celebrity will. Like, it is true that, like, actually, let me remind you guys of a situation. Okay, here we go. So this is something that took place in California, right? California, the place of diversity and where racism is a crime. Larry Elder was running for governor in California. And Larry Elder is a black man. He's a black conservative. And I've listened to him talk. He's actually very intelligent, like really, really sharp. And the guy knows his stuff. But he's running for governor in California. Obviously, he didn't win. It's California. But while he was walking down the street, a woman in a gorilla mask started getting in front of him, right? And yes, Elder said his team was also physically assaulted, shot with a pellet gun, and hit with projectiles. This is a black man running for political office in California, and a bunch of white people attacked him. One of them was wearing a gorilla mask. Did anybody on the left take any umbrage with this? Right? Did we cancel the crazy little bitch wearing a gorilla mask as she confronted a black man? No, obviously not. Obviously not. Nobody gave a shit, right? Because he's a conservative. He deserves it. Okay? Look, I'm not saying Jamila went that far to put on a gorilla mask, okay, and go stalk a black politician that she doesn't like, but let's read the actual quote. Pay and protect the people who keep your country functioning a living wage. Ah, God, I'm sorry, I'm getting sick, so I probably shouldn't try to shout that. Stop blaming immigrants. Can't we send Suela, Pretty, and Rishi to Rwanda instead? It wouldn't even hurt them to be called an embarrassment to Asians, because 3 coconuts have never been more desperate to assimilate to white people in their lives. Now, should I read the rest of it about how she's calling them bigots and fascists and dogs when she's already said that they're an embarrassment to their race and then hurled out a racial slur? Like, this is completely okay. This is completely okay in the left-wing circles. There's no issues when you hurl out racial slurs. In fact, let me show you a funny interaction. And I don't want to shit on this person because they did acknowledge that, it was a bad thing. But this is typically the response, right? I think we need to address the balance of power and status for race and gender. Let's face it, no one is made to suffer by the use of the word coconut. Indeed, it's not right, but on balance, there's no genuine victim, except possibly the person using that word. Now, then Ben, responds to him, says, hey, this has happened to me like 77 times. It's hurled out. Like, there are victims of it. It is offensive, right? And my thing is that's like a left-wing position, okay? That you're offending people and you're making them victims with your speech, because in the UK they actually have laws against speech. But again, the person that acknowledges, says, thank you for letting me know, is actually really cordial. So I don't want to shit on this guy, right? But this is genuinely the talking point is, well, yes, okay, look, it would be racist, but we're talking about the people who have all the power and they're trying to hold other people down. So actually, it's totally okay that I used a racial slur. Like, I don't even know how to like talk to people who believe and see the world that way, because all I see is overt hatred directed at groups of people because they do not believe what you think that they should believe. Again, Jamila Jamil is not the only actress in Hollywood that does things like this. She certainly isn't. Your random left-wing person on the street, okay, is probably pretty fucking racist. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, they're going to start hurling out racial slurs the moment they see a black conservative. They might. They probably will. I mean, if we're being dead serious. But I mean, it's this idea that people of these minority groups are held down and they have less, and because typically it's a white liberal, because they're white, right? Their lives are so much better, right? And they need to get on their knees and help lift up these poor black and brown people. Yeah, no, no, fuck no. Guys, tell me, what do you think in the comment section? I've talked about this plenty of times. I think that when you lower down communication to this point where you think it's totally okay to call people an embarrassment to their race and hurl out a racial slur on top of it because you don't like their politics. What do you guys think about that? How does that make you feel? Do you think Jamila is totally right to hurl out a racial slur towards somebody because, their politics are things that she disagrees with? Or do you think that maybe, just maybe, on a whole, if there is an actual issue with racism, that when I wouldn't say high profile celebrity, but any celebrity is hurling out racial slurs, do you think that, maybe as like genuinely good and decent people, you can say, hey, knock it the fuck off? I don't want her canceled. I don't want her to lose her job. But let's be real. If it was somebody on the right and they called somebody a coconut or used some other sort of racial slur, well, we'd be going after their jobs. You know that's what would happen. Fucking Kat Tenbarge or Taylor Lorenz would be standing outside of their parents' home, knocking on the door, demanding an interview. So why is this okay? Why is this going to be accepted? Do we actually care about racism, or is it more about attaining more power?